A proud day for Boko. Gordon and Boko became good friends after Bill and Ben teased him. When Edward heard about the ordeal, he scolded the twins severely and turned to Gordon. "It serves you right for being urgent," he said. Gordon was cross, but said nothing more. That evening, Boko arrived at the sheds. "Evening," he said politely. "Is it all right if I can rest here?" "Of course," smiled Duck. "You can stay here as long as you like." "Thank you," Boko replied. He turned to Gordon. "I understand you pulled the express," he said. Gordon, who decided to let what Edward told him go earlier, looked up. "Well, yes," said Gordon, "and even when I'm not available, Henry and James take care of it. I did have a few mishaps and got into a couple of scraps while pulling the express, like pulling Thomas behind his coaches, bursting his safety valve, ending up on the loop line, pulling the express backwards after upsetting the turntable's balance, racing along the line with a broken whistle, coming across a cow and losing his dome," chuckled James before being silenced by Edward. "I wish I had the chance of pulling the express," Boko thought. "Hopefully you will soon," said Henry. Little did they know that Boko would get his chance the next morning. Gordon woke up feeling exhausted. His driver and fireman couldn't make his fire burn properly. The inspector came to see him. "What's the matter with Gordon?" he asked. "The express is due in about 30 minutes. "His firebox won't light," said the driver. The inspector telephoned Sir Topham Hatt. "Henry and James won't be able to pull the express, and neither will Donald and Douglas, so Boko's the only engine available." When Boko heard the news, he was delighted. He arrived at the platform just as Percy shunted the coaches into place. Boko coupled up to them and waited as soon as the passengers and the conductor were ready. The conductor blew the whistle, and Boko rolled out of the station. Boko made express time, and the passenger sang his praises. Come along, we mustn't be late, he said to the coaches. Gentle and smooth, replied the coaches. Boko passed by Edward's station, receiving a peep from Edward. When he reached Gordon's Hill, James passed by with the local, and even he was impressed with the diesel's efforts. Boko seems like a hard-working diesel after all, he thought. I shouldn't have doubted him. By the time Boko reached the station at the end of the line, the passengers all said thank you. That night, Sir Topham Hatt was proud of Boko. Well done, he said. Would you like to pull the express sometimes? I'd love to, replied Boko. Thank you for all your help, said Gordon. You've done a fine job today. Of course, smiled Boko. After the day's performance, the engines all began to appreciate Boko. He feels he was one of the family after Edward's exploit. Donald and Douglas were the last to accept him. One day they said, You know, for a diesel, young Boko, isn't you such a bad engine? And that was high praise indeed.